Is happening, YouTube? What is going on, everybody? It's RodimusPrimal. I am live, and it is currently Sunday night, the Sunday before Christmas, and I decided to go live to try and catch up with some Transformers news, catch up with some Transformers stuff, and just talk with you guys about all the stuff that's going on. And to maybe, try to connect with you guys a little bit more because, I should do live streams a little bit more. And I've actually been thinking about doing that, because, a lot of stuff that happens with all this Transformer stuff, it's like, I've got to catch up and try to keep up with it all. And on top of that, I'm working on a Transformers retrospective, which is coming soon. I was planning on getting it done on, like right before Christmas. Like my plan was for it to like go up on the 24th, but there's no way I'm going to be able to finish editing it before that point. So my plan is to try and get it out by the end of this week. And and I'll clue you guys in on who it's about, but there's a certain star in the night sky. Yeah. I'm currently working on Star Optimus Prime is my going to be my next retrospective. I was originally planning on working on Springer, and I'm gonna like a working script for that, and I have a working script for Red Alert that I want to work on now that they've revealed the Armada Red Alert. So those are two characters that I want to do retrospectives for, but I'm probably gonna finish those up by the new year, and I'll get those out soon. But Star Convoy, Star Optimus Prime, Battlestar Optimus Prime, I think is a better name, is going to be my next retrospective. But, the plan was to get it out for Christmas. That's the whole idea, the star in the night sky kind of thing. And was like, and everyone was asking, like, well, who is Star Optimus Prime? What's up with this Star Convoy thing? Like, people don't know who Star Convoy is, right? They never heard, the whole Transformers Japanese continuity stuff and how they handled all of that. And so I've collected as much as I can. I did a lot of research to get that out there. So I ended up reading through the manga and getting all the images that I could and pulling it together. And the script is out. I mean, it is done. The what's it called? The audio is done, and I'm working on editing in all the images and video clips and all the stuff that you guys expect in a retrospective. So, and I'm hoping to get that out by the end of the week. And yeah, of course, I was in church this morning and trying to make sure everyone had a good Christmas. People are preparing for Christmas. So, but I don't want to touch base with you guys. I want to be able to try, and I was thinking about doing this, like maybe make it a Sunday night kind of thing again, where like maybe I come on live and this is where I cover all the Transformers news, and then I cover some entertainment news, and maybe like put those entertainment clips on my what's it called on my second channel, and kind of like post up some of that stuff there. But when some of this news kind of came around, I was just like, man, how do I like make a video, edit it, and like just to get the news out there. I'd rather just like connect with you guys, specifically for like the news of today, like specifically that obviously the stuff with Peter Cullen and Garry Chalk, and I'm going to talk about all of that stuff. And I invited some of the other guys on, but I know a lot of them are busy, and it's the Sunday before Christmas, so some people are probably with family or doing all that kind of stuff. But but I see your guys' comments coming in, and if you guys want to help the channel out, of course, like I've got the links there in the down below, and buying me a coffee, or direct donations, or becoming a channel member, or gift some memberships for Christmas, right? Gifting some memberships, obviously it helps keep the lights on here, my Christmas display here that I got going on, a little red and green. And I mean, we all want to be able to celebrate Christmas and be able to celebrate the holidays with family, and still at the same time enjoy Transformers as a whole. Like, it's kind of the thing. So but I'm gonna get into some of this stuff here. And well, some it's like relatively like light news, because a lot of the stuff I've already talked about, but It's really like the big things that come to fruition. It says like, have you ever thought of having some help doing research with discussions? The thing is, like, when I do like the research on the scripts and stuff like that, like I want to make sure that I'm on point, and I want to write it in how I talk. Like, it's like it's coming from me, and that's kind of where writing that stuff kind of like takes precedence when I'm writing this stuff. And like I will do the due diligence of the research for anything that like I might be light on the details. I really want to make sure that I'm getting it right, because I've written scripts before where it's like from memory and just wrote it out, and you know all of a sudden like look at a certain section and like go back to the comic books and go, oh, I need to rework that, reword that. So and I've done that before, to make sure that the details are right. And so like it's just like those things where like I want to make sure like it like that the retrospectives are done right. And I have a lot of working scripts that are just like details are there, information is there. And so you got the saw a wave review for Tidal Wave, but it looks meh, but not as good as the Titan one. Oh, is that the third party figure that's supposed to be coming out or whatever? I've heard. I don't really collect third party stuff. Like I'll get like add on kits, but and I've talked with this from other people before. Is like I love the work that goes into making some of those third party figures because they're cool looking. But I don't typically collect it. So when I see it, I'm like, is it good? Okay, cool. But like, it doesn't scale well with the current class of figures that I have on my shelf and on my displays, because I want to be able to like intermingle them. The only time I make like an exception, obviously, is for the crossovers. I mean, for goodness sake, this thing is just so cool, right? I mean, I talked about it before, right? Like but how many people knew? Like I did this on a short where you press and hold it, and then it stays on for a little while, and then you can just basically have like the light going back and forth. Like how cool is that? Like it's just so cool. So, but I'll just let that turn off, and you're gonna end up hearing him say like Kit signing off in about a minute. So, but anyhow, um, let's get into some of this Transformers news. I'm gonna talk about the lighter stuff and the toy news stuff first, and then I'm gonna get into the big, the bigger news. And I see you guys coming in on the comments. I see Diecast, I see Treebot, I see Bill Barclay, and uh, Chris Melchef and Joey and Simon Morris and Mason Man and Melvor. And you got, I'm sure the names are gonna like start scrolling by as going things going on. Decade, Digital Apple, Matt. Don't want to butcher your last name. So let's bring this up. Where are we? Yeah, there he goes. He signs off there. And let me bring this in. No, no, other way. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So the first bit of Transformers news is kind of like a little bit of a bigger one. Is that we finally got like the reveal for uh, the Commander class figures for the Constructicons. And when I saw this, I was, I wasn't home when I saw it, and I was like, wow, they're revealing this stuff on a Saturday of all times, right? And I'm already into getting Scrapper and Bone Crusher. I already have them pre-ordered, and I sold off my Combiner Wars Devastator because as much as I liked the figure, it was a little bit of a mess, and I wanted a more stable combiner and one that scales with that Legacy Menasor figure. So I was like, yeah, I'm all in on these Constructicons. Like, I'm all in on them. And now we kind of get an understanding as to why and how they're doing the whole commander class thing. So it's gonna be basically long haul is gonna have a trailer, and the trailer is all of the combiner parts. And I'm not disappointed in that actually. So like, Evan showed it off and there are some images and you get to see them in robot mode. And I'm hoping that this is just kind of like a pre-production kind of thing, but the chest on Hook is missing all those like wonderful details that even the cartoon picked up on when they did the animation model. I noticed that they painted the shins gray, which follows the animation model and not the original toy, which I understand what they're going for there, but I kind of like the original toy's like legs on Hook. So I'm just hoping that this Hook figure specifically is like this is just the pre-production. Like this is like, hey, this is we're doing the test run. We haven't put all the paint decals on there or whatever things that we're adding to it. Long Haul looks fantastic. I think he looks awesome. I mean, and if they're gonna do the combiners, I hope that they can work out a way to not make them all skeletons. And I think they kind of did that here with Long Haul and Hook, and is that Hook himself, I mean, they're both the same scale as the other Constructicons, Long Haul being a little bit larger, but he has that serviceable, you know, uh, dump truck. And the dump truck that he turns into is not one of those giant, supersized, massive ones for like giant, like excavations, but more so like the ones that you see at smaller construction sites. And that is the actual construction vehicle that Long Haul turns into. So he's not supposed to be so big that he's like ginormous, but he's supposed to be big enough. And the way that they've actually incorporated a trailer with all of the extra parts and stuff, but actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if I remember correctly, in the episode The Master Builder, Long Haul actually had a trailer with Energon cubes on top of it. So this actually is cartoon accurate. And they've made it a way in order for him to have cartoon accuracy. So, and to also have all the parts in a place. I like it. The only thing I'm hoping is that they finish the colors. I don't like the purple Hook on Hook himself. And I mean, I hope that it would have been the same green and then have an actual like silver colored Hook. Like that's just kind of like one downplay for that. But if it's an extending Hook, that's great. That'd be awesome. I'm hoping that it has a place for it that works well and looks good on Devastator. So, but like I said in the episode Master Builder, there's actually a seat, like they actually bring in like a trailer full of Energon cubes in order to convince Grapple and Hoist that, hey, we're your friends, we're your friends. And there it is. So actually having that there. So then we get a look at the actual box. They were cubes sitting in a cab. Okay. All right. Maybe I was wrong. Okay, maybe I was wrong. I got to go back and watch the episode again. But it would actually kind of like be like transport. So I'm not opposed to it. So I got to go back and watch the Master Builder again. You guys are going to make me go back and watch it. But you know what? The fact that it's still like they've actually made both vehicles and robots be able to scale with the other ones, I'm still not opposed to the trailer itself. It's basically like the transport of other tools. Long Haul himself is a transport. Like he does, he has a dump truck, and then he has an added thing that they've added to him. So, you know, um, just trying to remember like that episode specifically. So it makes sense. I'm all right with it. And they also showed off Devastator with the other Constructicons with a grade Scavenger and a grade Mixmaster, they look great. They look awesome. They're as posable as you want them to be. You know, the thing like is Combiner Wars Devastator, for the scale of those figures, they should have been a lot more posable. They didn't have elbows. And yeah, the Unite Warriors figures, like they added that to the molds, but you had to pay extra in order to get Unite Warriors, or you have to pay extra in order to get an upgrade kit that you could not get your hands on. And we're also talking about a Devastator that's 10 years old. So this is a definitive improvement. I know a lot of people have made their qualms about the size of Devastator's legs, being a little bit on the stumpier side, like his thighs are a little bit shorter. I get that. And maybe, who knows, maybe there might be someone that's going to end up doing it. A lot of people do upgrade kits. A lot of people do upgrade kits. And I'm going to get into an upgrade kit specifically, in a bit. But I don't know, man. Like I'm feeling it. Like I really like this Devastator, and the fact he's going to be just a head taller than Combiner Wars Legacy Menasor is going to be great. He's going to be in scale with the other combiners, and Mixmaster looks good. I will say Scrapper does look a little on the stumpier side, and Bone Crusher, I don't like his waist there. And they're nothing is perfect, right? Like I mean, we can all, this is all like first world problems, that people can complain about, but I don't know. Like I'm really liking the way this looks. I really do, and I'm definitely in for this particular Devastator. So long haul carries Megatron in Transformers Devastation during the chase mission. Yeah, yeah. Well, that was also based on the Combiner Wars, mold. So, but then again, the Combiner Wars Menasor, Devastator was massive. So it kind of is what it is there. So, let me just pull this back. So, what are you guys thinking about all of this stuff here? What do you think about this Devastator? How do you guys feel that this Devastator figure is? Do you think that it's worth it? You guys are in for it? I was already in with Scrapper and Bone Crusher. I know Bone Crusher leaves a little bit to be desired, understanding that he's a deluxe class figure. But I will say Long Haul and Hook look a lot better. And I think just by the vehicle modes alone, Scavenger and Mixmaster look okay. Look a lot better. And yeah, Combiner Wars Devastator is 10 years old. Yeah, wow. It's like, it goes to show you how old that figure is, right? So, Silverbolt looks amazing. Looks, even better than Menace. I agree. And I know a lot of people don't care for that, the whole caboose thing that they even added to Silverbolt in order to make the skeleton for Superion. But I'm not opposed to that either. Like even here, I'll bring the scene in again. Looking at the Age of the Primes figure, my major complaint with this figure, with the Superion, is the shins. I don't like the gates with those shins because it doesn't, like, the thing about Superion specifically is that even though the animation model was kind of like a boot over the aerial bots that were combining into Superion, you still kind of felt like his shins were enacting air raid and skydives chests and bodies, whereas I don't feel the same way when looking at this Superion. Like that is if that's just one complaint, what else? Like it's like people are like, "Oh, I don't like it because of the skeleton thing." I get it. Maybe a third party person is going to end up making an actual combiner Superion, because third party companies right now are doing the skeleton, and now Hasbro's doing the skeleton thing. So where they all combine to form over a skeleton kind of thing. I'm not opposed to that in order to get it clean. It's whole caboose thing. I don't, I get it. Like it's weird. Um, okay, yeah, just brought the scene up. See, I was wrong. I was wrong. And you know what? I'm okay with being wrong and corrected when I'm trying to remember something. Um, Especially when my focus wasn't on the Constructicons. My focus was on Star Convoy. So, where my all my research has been on Star Convoy. So I haven't watched a lot of season 2 stuff recently. So, um but still, these aerial bots I'm all in for too. The aerial bots, I'm on the fence about the primes. Like I really am on the fence about the front primes. I want the combiners, and I kind of want to complete that, like, certain sets of characters that I'm really waiting for. So, but I don't know, man. Like it's a lot of people are all in on these combiners. Now, there's no news for I saw the comments for people asking about. I wouldn't call it a caboose. It's more or less translated interstellar booster. Okay, all right. This is Norbs. I love your creativity when it comes down to this stuff, man. I really love your creativity. And Prime Dynamics says, let's be honest, the Constructicons aren't meant to sit on the shelf as individual figures. You're buying this solely for Devastator. True. Very true. And you know what? Even so, the individual Constructicons, when lined up with each other, look great too. But I'm glad, and the thing is, if you don't have him combined, all of those combiner parts now have a place to go. You can now put them together into something that you're not going to lose as easily, when you want to have the individual Constructicons doing what they're doing. So, and this I get, a better seeker mold. It's gonna, what's gonna happen. Give it about 2 years, 2 3 years, and they'll go all in and make a brand new Voyager scaled seeker mold, and we'll have to buy them all. You'll be like, oh my gosh, they gave waist articulation to an already existing style jet, and the wings don't fall off so easily, right? Watch them do that, and then everyone's going to buy them. And they're going to do like 9 jets, right? You're going to get your G1 Starscream. You're going to get your Thundercracker Skywarp. You'll get your retools as Ramjet Dirge and Thrust. You'll get your G2 jets, all that stuff. Like, they'll just keep on going on, right? So, you know what they'll do? They'll just do a damaged chest for that Earthrise wheeljack. Watch them do that. They'll do that. They'll release a wind charger, and then they'll release it in a 2-pack, both with damaged chests. So, yeah, that and the cones go into the chest. Yeah, to get an actual, because they've been doing well. The Earthrise Seeker does do that, even though it's very blocky. It's more blocky than the G1 design. So, who knows? We'll see what they do. I don't think that 86 Bumblebee is that much of a shelf warmer. It's that they produced a lot of them. It's a great figure. Don't get me wrong. 86 Bumblebee is a very, very, it's kind of, I'm not getting good focus on it, but that's all right. Is a very good figure. I like him. He's currently like one of my despots right now. And I love playing, fidgeting with him. Easy to transform, a lot, doesn't parts form. He just doesn't have a place. He doesn't have a 5mm port somewhere to like store his gun. You can try to get it inside in vehicle mode, but I still have up on that shelf is the Netflix Bumblebee. But that one's better for the vehicle mode. But this is like a better yellow. It looks in robot mode is a little bit more cartoon accurate, but it's the vehicle that is very like chibi. But I still dig it. I still think it's a cool toy. So Yeah, they'll do that too. You watch. They'll do a battle damaged Optimus Prime, dying Optimus, right? And they'll actually give him the painted chest for his Matrix cavity. So, speaking of upgrades, let's talk about non-F and Toy Hacks. Now, Toy Hacks for a little while was sponsoring the channel. They currently are not, but that's okay. They're still good folks over there. But they're working currently right now with non-F to um, do this upgrade kit for Slipstream. Now I have Slipstream, and she could be better, right? But they're doing a wing fill kit. They're doing an add-on piece for that back shoulder, and like you get a choice of colors for parts, which I think is great. So if you want to get the purple on the wings and then do like a label or something like that for the green, or it's like a greenish blue, and replacement for the chest. It pretty much just needs a screw, and then there are parts for the you know for the arm cannons. Now, if I had a choice, I would go with purple wings, black weapons, and a animated chest. So I would like the animated chest more than the Cyberverse chest, because there actually is a choice between Cyberverse style chest and animated chest, and I would go for the animated one specifically, especially considering the head sculpt. I wish that the shoulders overall were replaced, but that would require pin removal. Whereas to remove her chest, you just got there's a screw on the on her back, and then it's easy to remove the chest itself and like replace it with a better one. So you do have that choice, and I think that is a better choice for this character. Considering that, like, color wise, I like the toy. The jet mode is alright, but man, I'm like, there's so many things that I just wish this robot mode did better. Just did not do it the way that I wanted to. So, and I don't normally talk about like upgrade kits and third party stuff, usually, but I really felt like that's a character that like I really wanted something better for, and it's supposed to be Cyberverse Slipstream. So yeah, like this is a kit for the Legacy, Cyberverse Slipstream, which this is her stock chest, and there we go. Her stock chest and wings, like to do the wing fill kits, and to actually put the arm cannons. Like right now, I have them on her forearms, but to have them hanging off of her shoulders is better because it just looks weird otherwise. I wish that the wings were animated wings specifically, because I'm not a big fan of the VTOL wings on Slipstream because she's a seeker, but can't win them all, right? So, let's get into the lead-in story for tonight. And, again, of course, hit the like button if you haven't already done so, and, give some memberships and give in some super chats and stuff like that, of course. But, yeah, let's get into some of this stuff here. So, at TFCon, if you guys, both Peter Cullen and Frank Welker were both supposed to be there. They were both supposed to, it was supposed to be both of them. Now, I saw them at MegaCon in Orlando, and I will be at MegaCon in Orlando in February. So, but last year, or this year now, because it's still 2024, both Peter Cullen and Frank Welker were there. And I only got to shake Frank Welker's hand. The line for Peter Cullen was just way too long. And so I kind of wish that like I went and I had some money to get something signed. I didn't. And I have a funny story to tell. It's a very funny story. So Peter Cullen, like I said, the line was long. I shook Frank Welker's hand, and then I'm going around. I went to William Shatner's panel, and I'm sitting front row for him, and because my dad really wanted to see William Shatner, and so we walked out of that panel, and I went over to the bathroom, and I go to wash my hands, and as I'm washing my hands, out of the stall, like right behind me, comes Frank Welker to come wash his hands. And he's right next to me, and he sees my jacket. Now my jacket that I'm wearing has G1 Megatron's box art on the back. And he's like, "Oh, hey, look at that." And we're in the bathroom, guys. Like you don't uh you don't try to, like, you know, spark up a conversation with somebody in the bathroom. So I say to myself, I'm just like, I'm not gonna make a scene. I'm not gonna embarrass myself. Say it's really an honor to see you and talk to you. I'll talk to you later. And then I just walked out. And then I was just like, I'm not gonna be some like creeper guy or something. Like I'm just like, it was just like a funny story to tell, because how often do you get to like meet somebody that cool but in the bathroom? You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna. And I wish that I wish that I was waiting in line for their panel. Like they were doing a signing. They had this like other like smaller panel that I couldn't make it to, but I did go. They actually had in their big ballroom both Peter Cullen and Frank Welker, and I recorded it, and it is on the channel. And so they got to talk at the panel, and they were talking about stuff, and that was cool. So I recorded that on my phone, and that was on Sunday. But they were supposed to be at TF Con and in Baltimore. But unfortunately, recently Peter Cullen canceled all of his appearances for a bunch of stuff, and we don't know why. And people are speculating. We don't have any news. We don't have any update about what's going on with Peter Cullen, how well he's doing. And a lot of us are concerned about him, because Peter Cullen is in his 80s, but he's Optimus Prime. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like he's Optimus Prime. So at TFCon, Frank Welker actually recorded all of us in the crowd saying, you know, get well soon, like having us all say it for him. And he had the whole crowd do that. And that was really great. That was awesome. But since then, we have not heard anything. We have not heard anything about Peter Cullen. We don't know what's going on. And a lot of us fans are concerned about him. Then we just found this information out, I think either Friday or yesterday. But now the next news that I'm going to bring up is, well, Garry Chalk, who is Optimus Primal, whom I met numerous times now, and is really just a stand-up guy. I met him and had you end up having long conversations with him, and I can give stories like, so at the first TFCon in Baltimore that I attended, Garry Chalk was there, but I'd already met him like the year before in RetroCon in Pennsylvania, and had long conversations with him about that, different stuff then. And then he came down the escalator on Friday night because he was jet lagged from flying from, I believe, from Canada. And he was just kind of like, I'm not really feeling great. And like, we were trying to get him like, something, some Tylenol or a painkiller or something just to help out, because he was jet lagged. So he was just a little tired, and he knew that Saturday was the big day for all the signings and stuff. So it was cool to talk to him there. Saw him again in Orlando, and was walking past, and Candace Santoro was there, and she's a sweetheart. And I've had a lot of conversations with her. She's just really cool, but she's like really good friends with Garry Chalk. And obviously he's eating dinner, so I'm not really going to go off and interrupt the conversation while they're eating. but they were inviting and they were saying hi, whatever, because they were, I was just walking past, because like in Orlando, that hotel, like it was like an outdoor eatery, so pretty much you're just walking through the hotel and like you're walking past people while they're eating at the restaurant, like at the restaurant itself is like part of an outdoor thing in Orlando. It's kind of a cool thing. I really like that hotel. So just now, Gary Chalk put out his. He does, him and David Kay have been doing this for years, where they put up like something like a Christmas message or a Christmas song or something to like celebrate the holidays. And Candace Santora writes it specifically for Gary, and he can play the guitar and he can sing and stuff. And I'm not gonna play it because I don't want to get like the copyright, but you know I'll leave a link in the description. But we just found out that he has stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma, which apparently is very treatable. So he starts his treatment tomorrow, and you know apparently it's a very treatable. He's got swollen lymph nodes, I believe it is, and so they'll they'll figure out how they're gonna treat him. He's optimistic. He put up a message, I believe, on Instagram, but if anything, both him and Peter Cullen, whatever's going on, like we just wish for them the best. You know what I mean? Like now, I'm a Christian, and I'll call for my brothers in Christ. We're all going to pray for this. Pray for them both that in Jesus' name that they are healed and whole. And like it's to them, their work, they did a lot of work for us, for with both Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal. So for us as Transformers fans, like our concern is both Optimuses, like it's kind of crazy to like think that about that. And they've been around for a long time, but they care about the fans just as much, and we care about them. So but I'm hoping that we find out something soon about Peter Cullen, that hopefully that he's gotten better and he's doing well. We'll find out soon about that, I'm sure. And fortunately, Gary's got a wonderful person who will keep every one of us updated, and we'll definitely see what's going on with him, because I'm still upset about the fact that we did not get an opportunity for Peter Cullen and Gary Chalk to share the screen together as Optimus Primal and Optimus Prime, and or for the two of them as actors to share a screen together. Like that would have been just like something for us as fans. Like we've been wanting stuff for that, like where David Kay and Frank Welker can be, sharing a screen together, get both Megatrons together, right? Like how great would that be? So, but that's just, what's going on with them. And yeah, it's just kind of crazy. So, One Piece fans, were distraught earlier this month over. Yeah, exactly. Like it's exactly that. Like how do we, cope with someone? And mind you, they're human beings. They're people. They're they have families that care about them and what have you. But we wish for them the best. And really, honestly, it's just a heartfelt message from me. Like I truly feel like it's like a responsibility of me to deliver this to you guys, and hope for the best for both of them. So, David Kay does a good Optimus as well. Yeah, but Peter Cullen is the best. Yeah, he definitely is. So we did, we did, and we've already had a David Kay and Frank Welker together, right? So can we get a Gary Chalk and Peter Cullen, please? So yeah, I mean, however you feel about Ron Perlman as an actor, whether you like some of his roles that he's played before, Gary Chalk is Optimus Primal, you know. So now, yeah, speaking, I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a moment. Thank you very much for the super chat there, Shadow Gale. Praying for the safety and health. Peter will always be the Optimus Prime candidate. Yeah, it's so hard. How can you imagine a world without him? You know. So, wow, just like that. But thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. So, it was the feelings Batman's fan when we found out. Yeah, same thing for Kevin Conroy. That's true. That is true. Because Kevin, and I've met Kevin Conroy. I've got photo of him too. So you want me to be the voice of Rodimus Prime? So if they ever bring Rodimus Prime back, right? If they ever do a Transformers cartoon with Rodimus Prime, you guys are saying you want me to do it? I could do it. I mean, if they actually wanted me to do so, you know, I probably would have to try my best to see if I can get the role, but you know, I doubt they'd bring the character back because and anytime that they always try to bring the character back, they always try to like make him out to be something less than like what was it, Combiner Wars and Titans Return, where he gave up the Matrix at the end and then became Rodimus Kron. Like I didn't care for that. So that's the Transformers news. Well, technically, I mean, Ben Yee has got name credits in episodes of Beast Wars. Me, Cam and Cam, I believe Thu, Ultra Primal, and a couple of others I believe are on that list, are on a list in Cybertronian text in Transformers Cyberverse. So, and I've said before, like, I've said to the Cyberverse cast members, I was like, you guys are my co-stars. So every time I see them, they're always like a blast to talk to. So yeah, he was a little too stoic, and I'm very energetic and outgoing. So yeah, I wish I got a chance to meet Dick Gautier. That would have been great to actually get a chance to meet him. But he passed away like early in my career, and I would say YouTube career, right? Because I've been making Transformers YouTube videos since 2015. You know, October 30 is October 13th. I think the date that the Transformers Devastation video review, which is really bad video, goes to show you how different I've made videos since. But that was like the first video I put up on this channel, and that's that's how long I've been making Transformers YouTube videos. So, you know, we need a new Rodimus based series of him. Yeah, I want, you know what I want? I want a series where Optimus is back, but now Hot Rod gets to become Rodimus Prime again. You know, I want to see that series. Yeah, we were on the list in the Immobilizers. Yep, the episode The Immobilizers. So, yeah, almost 10 years, right? Leland's I give a shout out to this guy right here. Great guy. Great guy. So yeah, it was me. Yeah, that's right. I already saw that. And so I am going to shift gears just a little bit. Just indulge me for a sec, guys, because we're live now. And what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit of entertainment. I was thinking about doing this. So before I actually talk about this stuff, I was thinking about maybe doing like a weekly show, you know, weekly, bi-weekly, whatever, to go live and talk Transformers news, but then kind of go on the side a little bit and kind of break the mold and maybe start talking some like entertainment stuff and whatever like topic comes to mind, and put that up on my second channel. So I have like a rants and reviews channel that I've talked about stuff, and I've kind of like tried to give my reaction to like articles, but I'd rather, I don't know, Like if they're just like clips of me doing this stuff. And then just to kind of like get into some stuff here. So let me actually bring this up. So, if you guys have not seen, they are doing a new Superman movie. And I've talked about Superman quite a bit before. We were really curious as to what James Gunn was going to do. You guys know I do like Henry Cavill himself as Superman. I just felt that the movies themselves had no hope to them. They were trying to deconstruct Superman. And one of the things that Zack Snyder himself said after he directed Watchmen was the fact that, well, that he already deconstructed Superman when he did the Watchmen movie. But Man of Steel itself was, as a movie, was okay. You know, but it was definitely like bringing down that, I don't know, the feeling of hope that we wanted from a Superman movie. But it had a great Zod versus Superman fight. I still say that Christopher Reeve, to this day, is the best Superman. Like, straight up. But this trailer actually got me excited to see a Superman movie. I saw the trailer and I was like, wow. So I'm going to just, break it down a little bit, and I'm going to take some like moments to just talk about it. I'll bring it down. And so and again, I do have to pause it every once in a while, for copyright reasons. But there, Superman lands in a Yamcha pose. Everybody's been talking about that like it's like the Yamcha pose, right? So I also like the fact that they're using the Superman theme. Mind whomever Jonathan Kent looks like, as long as he's got his parents to help him out. That's like a Crypto. Bringing in Crypto. This moment here too was awesome. Superman is saving somebody. Something that Man of Steel kind of did a little bit, that Batman v Superman did a little bit, but they really didn't care about that. They didn't care about Superman actually going out of his way to save people. This one kind of bothered a lot of people. I saw people saying, like, why is it not LexCorp? It's Luthor Corp. Why is it Luthor Corp? Well, his family name is Luthor. So I think they were, come on, Superman, you got to save some people. I wonder if something big happened. This is why, Superman is getting like the treatment here. So who died? That's the real question. Who died, and why is Superman feeling this way? But here's the thing that I saw a lot of people complaining about. Nathan Fillion there as Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. And coming in, I'm guessing he's using the green time to go out and save people afterward. And I see the comments that Guy Gardner is supposed to be insufferable, so I think it works. I agree. I think that the Superman movie, I'm excited for it. You know why? We need a hope-filled Superman. We really, really need a hope-filled Superman. And Man of Steel was not hopeful. It was deconstructing the character. I loved Henry Cavill in the role. He played a great Superman in a series of bad Superman, starring movies. That's the best way that I can describe it. I think this is going to go in a better direction than that. Why? Because James Gunn actually likes Superman. Whereas Zack Snyder was a Batman fan. Now, this isn't anything about Batman versus Superman, like which one is better. It's more so as like, if you're going to do Batman, you got to get someone who loves Batman. If you want to do a Superman movie, you've got to get a good director who also loves Superman. You know, not to say about anything about Transformers, right? Getting a director that doesn't really care about Transformers. That's same thing here. You know, we need superhero movies to be about to actually cover the characters the way that they could be and make them relatable and lovable, and you know, you can care for them again. So I think this movie is going to be good. I'm cautiously optimistic in a sense that there's always going to be something about the movie where I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that. But that's nitpicky. I think on the whole, I think the movie is good. Looks to be good. My only issue is it looks a little bloated with all the heroes they're adding in. But I think the point is that they figure the world already knows who Superman is. They just need a really good Superman story in a universe where Superman already exists. And if that is how they're going to handle it, I'm in. I'm in. So I want to know what you guys think about this Superman movie, man. You think it's going to be good? I do. Of course, leave your thoughts in the comments. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one. So that is I'm literally gonna take that clip. I'm gonna put it on my second channel just to be for the trailer. And we can talk a little bit more about Transformers before I talk about some other stuff. And I was thinking about doing this. Like, I think this is kind of like a cool idea is to just like talk Transformers for a little while, talk some other stuff that's got me excited. I want to see Cobra Kai. I have not seen any of Cobra Kai season 6. I want to talk about that. Because I currently do not have Netflix. Can't afford it right now. Literally. I really want it, but I do want to see, the next season of Cobra Kai. But yeah, hope it's good because Superman's your favorite superhero. See, and that's the thing. Like you're supposed to have a hope-filled superhero. Batman is supposed to be dark. Superman is supposed to be hopeful. You need that counterbalance. Metropolis and Gotham are supposed to be two sides of the same coin. And I would argue that currently, right now, with current events in New York City, current New York City is Gotham. Whereas, New York, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago was more Metropolis. So Cobra Kai is really wild. It's good. I can't wait to see. I really want to see that. I gotta catch up on it. So Batman's main quality is his composite. So I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but time comes for Superman and Batman to meet. I don't know if they're going to be in the same universe. To my understanding, I've heard that Robert Pattinson and that version of Batman is not going to be in the same universe as this. Like, they're going to have a Batman for the DCU, and Robert Pattinson's Batman, the Batman, is a different universe, to my understanding. So, we'll see. We'll see where they go with it. Waiting for the last part. See, I haven't even seen the first 10. Was it 10 episodes that they put up so far for season 6 of Cobra Kai? Grimlock as Godzilla in the crossover was met. Yeah, I agree. Everyone agrees with you on that one. So, Okay, you know what? Maybe you're right. Yeah, well, kind of. Because they're all the theme parks and stuff like that, right? So, well, Guy Gardner looks exactly like that in the comic books. Like his bowl cut and everything. And he's kind of insufferable. Like Lyle Convoy said, he's like an insufferable jerk. That's the whole point of his character. So, yeah. I gotta catch up too. Avengers versus Alien is a thing. That's pretty much what this Superman movie is looking to be. So let's move on to our next segment. And I'm going to cover it again, just like I covered it before as a video, like doing it like as a video. And, so this next pop culture discussions thing is, so I have seen all of up to season 5 of Cobra Kai. I have not seen season 6 yet. But the final part of Cobra Kai season 6 is coming, and they dropped something on us that has actually gotten me excited to go to the movie theater. Now, you guys saw, in my last video where I talked about Superman, and I did talked about the trailer, but I really think that, you've got 2 movies now that really make me want to go back to the movies. Really want to make me go back to the movies, because I have been loving the Cobra Kai show. It brought me back to the original, Karate Kid universe. But now they're making another Karate Kid movie. And when I heard about it, they were doing Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio. I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know how good that's going to be. But they got a trailer up. And, well, I'm going to talk about it. And I've already seen the trailer. And after I saw the trailer the first time, I was like, you know what? I think I'm in. I think I'm in on this. So let's take a look at this trailer, shall we? So, 100 Years, Colombia. Our traditions are rooted in history. So, again, the thing about the Jackie Chan, there was a Karate Kid movie, and everybody who was a Karate Kid fan was like, why are you calling this movie Karate Kid? It's in China. It's Kung Fu. There is a difference between karate and Kung Fu. And I like Jackie Chan. I love Jackie Chan movies. But there's a difference, right? You have Okinawa is where Mr. Miyagi, originated his style from. So what is this? Are they actually merging styles? Are they from the same branch? Or the same tree but different branch? I'm getting somewhere with this. Right. Kung Fu. A little Wing Chun there. And there's the old house. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they already paint the house differently? Or is this the same house that they're using from the Cobra Kai series? So maybe this is the same universe?
You knew Mr. Miyagi? I did not come looking for Sensei Miyagi. I came looking for you.
It's so weird, just like so surreal to see those two together. And that it looks like it's definitely like the same. Like it's set like after Cobra Kai.
In life, you have only one.
There's Ming Na Wen. Good old Chun-Li herself. Did not know she was starring in this.
Is it worth fighting for it? Or not?
This scene in particular kind of like made you like scratch your eyes a little bit and kind of go, okay, yeah, there's some dangerous stuff going on in the subways of New York, for sure. But maybe they're school age kids. They don't like him coming in.
What you meant to Sensei Miyagi.
Interesting.
I'm doing this for all of us. Whatever it takes.
Interesting.
2 branches. 1 tree.
I like that idea. 2 branches, 1 tree. So there is history in martial arts that does say like a martial art could start in China and could have moved over to Japan or vice versa. So this could be in that same vein that certain martial arts switched over between countries in there, even though there is a delineation between them. So let's see how well the kid looks. Really talented in martial arts. Really talented in martial arts. Wow. Yeah. I think I'm in on this one. Yep. For sure. May 30th. So you got July 11th is Superman. You got May 30th is Karate Kid Legends. Okay. You've got 2 movies now that got me excited to go see a movie in the theater. Wow. 2025 are they turning the page on entertainment where entertainment doesn't suck? Because it has been terrible entertainment for the past 4 years where we get good things every now and then, but it took them this long before they finally got good entertainment again. Wow. Just wow. I'm excited for this movie for sure. And you know what? I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this Karate Kid movie is going to be good? I think so. Of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Share some of this video and subscribe. And check out my other videos as well. I got more videos coming soon, so stay tuned for that. And as always, until next time, till all are one. All right. So I'll end the segment there. Now, something I just saw come up. Dude, McTankles, thank you so very, very, very much for this. This was a Christmas blessing right here. 20 gifted memberships. I am going to have to, for all of you who have already become a member now, going to have to start adding your name to the list of for memberships towards the, on my long laundry list of folks, on when I get the Star Convoy video done. So you guys already know I'm working on a Star Convoy retrospective. And yeah, just wow. Like I'm so like, thank you so very much, man, for that. I really, really appreciate that. But I mean, we had Transformers 1, which was a good movie. But it's like we have like sprinkling of entertainment. That's what I meant by it. What I said was like you had 2020, like I want to say with like the last 8 years, it's been like a slow decline of overall entertainment that just makes you want to go to the movie theater and see a movie. Transformers 1, I was so skeptical to go see it. And then I saw it and I was like, wow, okay, this is a good movie. Are we turning the page? Karate Kid, Superman. Can we get now good individual, like brand new things that are not based on a comic book or a video game, and just make like a really good movie that everybody wants to go see? Like, oh, did you see this movie? Did you see this movie? I think that's where we need to go. So, gonna be honest more and more. I think of Rise of the Beast, the more it comes. Wow. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Maybe McTankies is the one who brightens our darkest hour. I really appreciate that. I really, really do. Six Shot was a ninja in Japan. You're right about that one, man. Cool. Yeah. I want to see the new Karate Kid movie for sure. I think what they're going to do with this movie is they're going to assume that you've never seen Cobra Kai. So they're not going to acknowledge Cobra Kai, and if it is connected, they might just like leave you like a little breadcrumb. They'll let you know like, oh, hey, it is involved. But if not, they don't. If they just kind of like it's, sequel. And I'm cool with that. 28 years later, yeah. Yeah, I was skeptical of Transformers 1 as well. So, but the movie was awesome. Yeah, again, thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate that. So, yeah, as for entertainment, I think we need, we're entering a little bit of a resurgence where the creative people are finally breaking through and saying, look, we got to make good entertainment. For sure. For sure. Bad movies has been a result of outside pressures. Very true. Very, very true. There was the next Karate Kid, and they have not. I wonder if they talked about trying to incorporate her, into the universe somewhere, and they just haven't found a place to be able to do it. Totally agree. The trailers hurt Transformers 1 for sure. You know what movie that didn't? Sonic 3. Man, so many of you guys are like, if not for fans going ballistic and saying you have to make Sonic look like Sonic, feel like Sonic, and what have you. I don't know, man. Like you have to, you have to make what's the word I'm looking for? Like you have to respect the source material. And Transformers 1, I think, was trying their best to take all of the lore that Hasbro was using, which I think a lot of it has to do with the 13 and with all of that stuff. And so, they were trying to incorporate a lot of the lore together to make a single movie. And Transformers 1 delivered a fun, like you can just go and see that movie and feel like it was a good Transformers movie. So I mean, we could see that. I mean, mind you, the person who invented Wing Chun was a female. She it's close quarter combat, so it's designed for you're in a hallway and you have to fight somebody and you can't just throw, like big punches and kicks. So it's like short strikes. That's why Wing Chun is like that. And then Jeet Kune Do, which is what Bruce Lee, he actually took his lessons from Wing Chun and turned that into more of a hip, kind of a dancey style to it, which is not a bad style because it actually throws you off, because he's bouncing around so much and then he just hits you with some Wing Chun style attacks. So that's why it's very, I wonder what the that would be funny to have Ming Na Wen, do that. So if you're just tuning in now, I've been on for now. How long I've been on? I've been going on for, gosh, been going on for a little while, and I ended up covering pretty much the two trailers. And I talked about the Transformers news. I talked about all that stuff. Got 20 gifted memberships. So man, thank you so much for that. That was a Christmas blessing. And I'm looking and I'm hoping for, I'm thinking about maybe trying to try and cover this more frequently, to try to cover some of the news about what's coming in the future, like whether it's like Transformers related or not Transformers related. I'll put all the non-Transformers stuff on my second channel, which is the RodimusPrimal Rants and Reviews. And I can still do reviews there, but I want to cover mainly Transformers on this channel, except for maybe my live show. And I already heard about like the news about Sonic 3 currently is doing really well. I know that Voltron, they're actually going through with Voltron, and Henry Cavill is going to be in it. And they're already starting filming, apparently, but they haven't told us all the casting news for it. That's crazy. They're doing a 40K movie? It's crazy. This is where I'm not upset about Henry Cavill not being Superman. He got his chance to play Superman, to play a really good Superman in a bad Superman story. And now he gets to take his nerdiness and bring that someplace else to be as awesome as it could be. He can make a great Voltron. I mean, I don't know what he's doing with Voltron. I don't know if he's directing or if he's just starring, but he's got the reins around 40K, and hopefully 40K is good. And thank you very much, Melvor, for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate that. Hope you all have a great Christmas too. But now with the Transformers news again, we're all trying to pull everything together for Peter Cullen and Frank Welker, or Peter Cullen and Garry Chalk. I want to say Peter Cullen and Frank Welker, and then Garry Chalk and David Kay. Like I'll go back and forth with that one. But we're obviously hoping for both of our Optimuses to pull through whatever they're going through and whatever sicknesses that they pull through, and we get to see them in more stuff soon. I'm excited for that Devastator, right? Talked about that. And I actually did 2 videos. I think I did why you should. I believe I did a video about talking about why we should be reading the Skybound comics, and I might have covered it a lot in the news videos. Those Skybound comics are great. They're gritty. They're a little on the violent side, but you know what? It's great because we're getting like awesome Transformer stories in comic books again. So we'll see. We'll see where they go with. I should do another video on it. In fact, actually, because of Bruticus is going to be showing up in, Bruticus is going to be showing up in those Skybound comics. They already have Devastator, so I'm going to need to do a Constructicons retrospective. Then I'll have to do Aerial Bots, and then I'll have to do the Combaticons, and that'll cover the first 5 combiner teams. So yeah, there's that. I am out of Star Wars. I was into Star Wars, but I'm anything after George Lucas signed the pen, I'm just not into. So, like, I'm out with Star Wars, man. Sorry. So, for reviews on Persona, fact about Frank Totoro, Starscream was not his first Transformers role he voiced. Well, that was a fan dub, wasn't it? That was a fan dub for the Headmaster's English dub, right? Because it's not official. That's the thing. I don't mind that he like did unofficial stuff and then got something, because he does a good Starscream. But I don't consider those dubs to be official, and they never you've never gotten the entirety of the series. And on top of that, they decided not to stick with the Frank Welker style Galvatron, because Galvatron's voice changed from the movie to season 3, and then you go over to Headmasters and you're not keeping that same cadence and same voice. So RC should have gotten a new design for the Skybound comics because her G1 design doesn't work in the No, I want to see a toy designer work their magic and make RC as a Lambo, but G1 robot. Do it. Make it happen. How cool would that be? G1 robot turns into an Earth Lambo. G1 pink and white. My daughter loves G1 RC in pink. Her one of her favorites actually is Lifeline, which is like crazy because it's a non-speaking character. But just the blue, that greenish blue color. But yeah, no, bring in G1 RC, make the Skybound RC a toy. How cool would that be? Like with that vehicle and everything, the slit, like a Lambo like that. I'm okay. His Optimus Prime is okay. I think the thing is like I can't not hear Optimus Primal, even though there is a difference between the characters. Like from Peter Cullen's Optimus Prime to Garry Chalk's Optimus Prime to even Garry Chalk's Optimus Primal, they're very different characters. But it's kind of hard to not hear Garry Chalk and say, yeah, that's that's Optimus Primal. It's a different guy. So, but that's just my own personal, opinion. So, it would have to be retooled because the chest would have to transform in a way in order to still give her that backpack. And if you can do that, and then it still has the same robot design and everything, like the shape of her and all that stuff, and make her posable. Figure out a way, you know. Even if you have to put the side parts of the Lambo on the side of her legs, if you're really feeling like you want something a little bit more, to understand where the car parts go. That would be understandable, but still make the G1 car, robot design. So we absolutely could get a Titan class Grandis. Possible, very possible. Grandis and Sky Garry. Well, Sky Garry, I wonder. I think Sky Garry would be a commander class. And then, Sky Garry being a commander class, and then Grandis would have to be a Titan. Because Titan, Grandis is massive. So, aren't we supposed to see a scene in Optimal Situation where Optimus Prime speaks to Optimus Primal? That's possible. They might have felt that they might have cut it for time or something else. I don't know. I got to do my research on that. But that would have been great too. Because it was a scene where basically Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal were literally like face to face with each other, and it was so cool. To me, that like scene in particular was just like, I love Beast Wars. I love Beast Wars. That was just like a meeting of two Optimuses, and was just like, even though they weren't speaking to each other, it was still so cool. Like, I honestly believe that I wonder if I would be as much of a Transformers fan I am today. Like, I'm a G1 hardcore, but I wonder if not for Beast Wars, would I still be a Transformers fan? Like, I really honestly wonder that sometimes. Because I was already moving on to like other things, in the 90s when G2 came to an end, and I wasn't really feeling the beginning of Beast Wars. But then I got into Beast Wars. And then I saw that they connected it the way that they did. Like, I really, really wonder how much of a Transformers fan would I be today if not for Beast Wars. Like, I really, really give a lot of credit to Beast Wars for what it did to the franchise. So, yeah. Make that a HasLab thing, right? I wonder what they would do. I'm curious as how they would do Broadside. I wouldn't mind if they do a Titan class Broadside that transforms into a giant robot, but he can like kind of like how Tidal Wave disconnects into parts. He can disconnect into a smaller robot that turns into a jet, and then maybe turns into, like, it does triple change into a ship, and then combines with the larger aircraft carrier. And maybe the aircraft carrier has two modes, has a space shuttle mode, kind of like how that would be. So it's just an idea that's been going through my head about how they can do Broadside in a modern toy. Like, have him almost be like High Tide from Rescue Bots. So, but a little bit different. Like, still make the aircraft carrier transform, and have it have the jet like the jet mode and the aircraft carrier mode. Like, basically it's a giant aircraft carrier sized jet that can carry the aerial bots, and then he has a smaller robot and a larger robot. Like, that's how I would do it. So, now looking at, do I support physical media? Yes, I do support physical media. I believe that they should release. This is the reason why I was like wondering why it was like so quick for certain movies to come out on DVD. Like, I'm a big fan of movies still coming out on DVD and Blu-ray, over digital, because if you don't have internet, and for whatever reason, like if your internet goes down and you want to watch a movie, how are you going to watch that movie without internet? So we know Studio Series 86 Megatron is a tank. I hope they figure out a way to still make it work for the G1 fans. Like, knowing that they have to do the tank mode because of what have you, like whatever reason. Like, I mean, obviously that's the toy laws, but still to incorporate it in a way that gives him like the gun as an accessory or something. I don't know. I'm sure they'll figure it out. We are getting rescue bots in well, it's not Legacy now, it's Age of Primes. We already got Chase. We are getting Heatwave. Heatwave is going to be a bulkhead, the Legacy bulkhead mold. They're going to retool that as Heatwave. So we'll see how they do the rest. I don't know about that because it's like I honestly feel that like I don't know. To me, Optimus Prime's voice, in my opinion, is very much that like Walt Disney was Mickey Mouse. He was the first Mickey Mouse. Every single Mickey Mouse since has emulated Walt Disney's Mickey Mouse. So I almost feel the same way with Peter Cullen. That Optimus Prime is Optimus Prime. But I get that we've had different versions since, you know? And I don't know, like that's kind of how I feel about the character. It's like there's I care more about the character than I care about like why don't we do these wild interpretations and wild different versions, and why don't we change the formula so much that it's so different. And I get it. I mean, Transformers is about robots that turn into cars and trucks and airplanes and fight each other. So yeah, sneaky hidden gun mode for Megatron. That would be hilarious. We've had at least 6 people voice Optimus, but Cullen has he has the definitive Optimus Prime voice for sure. Yeah, they're gonna fan mode it out. Definitely, they're gonna make it a fan mode for sure. I could see that happening. I could definitely I could probably see them do when they do the Combaticons. I think they're gonna do 2 things out of the Combaticons. I think the first thing is they're gonna make maybe they might. I don't know. They might do a Fall of Cybertron Bruticus. Not everybody likes that Bruticus though, because I know they're gonna do a G1 cartoon Bruticus, and I'm bet you they're gonna do a Ruination. I will definitely get a Ruination if they do them. So, that's a good question. That's a really, really good question. What alternate mode? Well, really, what all of the 86 characters, what should their alt modes be if they were modernized into modern sports cars? You know, how would you do that? And figure out what works for them? Because really, honestly, their sports cars are supposed to be the cars of the future, but they're based on like concept cars. So, would like the Battle Gaia? Well, yeah. I mean, let's take a look, shall we? Let's bring them up. If you're wondering who Battle Gaia is, there you go. There's Battle Gaia fighting Guard City. So, I got that there. And oh, I did. I did. And that was cool. Imagine the tank with someone making a handle for that was I already know somebody who will make a handle for it. He will definitely make a handle for it. Fire Talks. We'll definitely make one. So I don't know. Like I want to get to a point where Transformers kind of has like a continuing story and can continue on for decades to come. But you know, not everybody wants that. So I don't know about a vet. I don't know about a vet. Like I'm seeing a lot of different sports cars out there nowadays. Like one thing about living in Florida, you see a lot more sports cars. A lot more sports cars. So do I ever plan on doing something on Shattered Glass? Eventually, yes. I actually have. See, you guys already know I'm working on the Star Optimus Prime video. That one I'm hoping to get out. I still have currently like in the script that I said, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all at the end. But I know it's not going to get out in time for Christmas. So I may have to. I'll just keep that line in. If you guys understand that it was meant for Christmas, I'm sure you guys would be okay with that, right? Because my next two videos after that are two characters that, like, one I have currently sitting on that shelf right there. Kind of see who I'm pointing at. And another character they just revealed for for Age of Primes that I've been putting on the back burner. So those are going to be like after Star Optimus, specifically. So Magnus was the only non-futuristic vehicle from '86. Very true. Very true. He was already a Diaclone mold. Was a powered up convoy figure. So the battle convoy, because you had, or it was powered convoy. It was battle convoy and powered convoy. So got to work on him too. Definitely got to work on him. So got a lot of folks asking a lot, because I have to rewatch this series over again. And this was great, by the way. Transformers Victory. I enjoy the heck out of Transformers Victory. And then, like I said, I do recommend watching the Japanese series, even if you're not into the Japanese series, it's understandable. But I love the what's it called, the Japanese. The only one I don't care, like Headmasters. The thing about Headmasters is I can't not see the G1 cartoon characters for who they are, because I read the tech specs and then I watch the cartoon and I have an understanding who these characters are. And then I go watch the Headmasters and I feel like the characters make a major character shift. And so a lot of the legacy characters just don't feel right. And that's just my personal opinion. So like Headmasters, the anime is, I wish it could have been better, but I love a lot of the stuff in it. Not everything. Master Force, I don't like the humans turned into Transformers, because then it's just mechs. But Victory was back to basics. And I really appreciated that. And I really enjoyed the series. I love Star Saber. I love Deathsaurus. Lio Kaiser is a great team of combiners right there. So definitely. Saw a bunch of comments come in. I'm just going to try my best to see if I can read through them. I hope they're doing a Missing Link side sweat. Oh, they are. If they are, great. Awesome. They got to do Jazz. Definitely got to do Jazz. Where was that one comment? So when it's close to its release, maybe a video on Cosmos. I did a Cosmos retrospective. I may re-release it. So I'll keep the intro and keep the beats to it. But then what I'll do is I'll add in after. Like I have to add in Cyberverse and I have to add in the Legacy toy. So and the Legacy toy is supposed to get re-released. So maybe I should work on, Like it's not much I have to do, but the video is going to get redone. And if I do that one, I'll also do Reflector, because Reflector is also one where I released the video, and right after I released the video, they showed the camera, the G1 cart, the G1 toy styled recolor, and I'm like, really? So, and you get those things happen where you when you make a video, and then like that's the reason why I held off on doing Red Alert, because I knew from the leak listings that they were doing a Red Alert in Age of Primes. So I was like, I got a script heavy, but I've got to wait until they show off that toy. So you missed him the first time. He's actually sitting on top of Skyfire. He's literally sitting on Skyfire's shoulder, holding the American flag. So that's where I've got that Cosmos, and I really dug the figure. So I'm happy that Cosmos fans are going to get that toy. So, like, I appreciate when toys that people really want get re-released. Re-release Legacy Breakdown. I see a lot of people complain about certain figures that they had a hard time getting in different lines, and I'm like, Hasbro, just re-release them. Re-release, I think DevCon and Beachcomber. That wave didn't hit shelves. Cosmos was one. They are doing Ramjet, so I don't know. I'd have to maybe. Maybe. Maybe they might do a Red Wing as an Earth mode, so. I don't. I don't. Because I think they're two distinct, different characters. So, Armada Red Alert, to my understanding about Armada Red Alert, is that he is. There was, and Aaron Archer was working on him. One of the working names was Ratchet, and one of the working names for Hotshot was Bumblebee. He also had Rescue Extreme was the name. So it was like Rescue Extreme Ratchet turned into Rescue Extreme Red Alert, and I'm guessing that was that was the name that they settled with. But it wasn't that they were going to name the character Ratchet. It's just that was like could have been a preliminary name, and in turn, that was the name that Ratchet was the name they went with in Japan. So, but they're two distinct, different characters. Red Alert is a paranoid security director, but Red Alert being a medic, it's not a bad thing. Like, it's because like Red Alert is like, it does work for a rescue bot or a or an emergency vehicle. It works for the paranoid security director. It works, like the name Red Alert works for both characters. So it's one of like those times where like they are two distinct different characters, but they're both named Red Alert, but and their names are justified to each other, but they are very different from each other. So 89 Batmobile. That would be a great crossover figure, like to accompany this guy right here. But Merry Christmas, Cyber Billy. Sorry, sorry. I've been on for a little while, and my throat's starting to get a little. I'm starting to cough up a little bit. But what do you guys think? Should I do videos like live streams like this a little bit more often, where I'll cover the Transformers news that comes out, and I'll cover some entertainment stuff, and I'll still work on my retrospectives. I'll still do, like, if there's something that's pressing, I'll do a standalone news video. Like, what do you guys think about that? Like, having me come on and do, be a little bit more live and chatting with you guys, you know, because I appreciate you guys watching my stuff regardless. I really do. I've been on this for almost 10 years. Like, it'll be going on 10 years in October. This coming up, like it's now been over 9 years. So, yeah, cool, very cool. I saw somebody that was on before. I mean, I was trying to keep up with all the chats and stuff, you know, and who knows? Maybe I'll have some other guests on, and do it like a Sunday night idea. Like this is Sunday night for me. I know that like in some countries, like in the UK, it's like past their bedtime, but like this would be like a time where I actually have time to do it. And I might not be able to do it every single week, but if I did it every week, like if I try to commit to maybe doing it like once a week, like on a Sunday night, you know, and with differing time zone schedules, I understand. I understand. So I saw the video and I was bringing it up before, and he's done a lot of funny stuff. Garry Chalk is just he's such a pleasure to talk to. He really is. Like I really hope for him like to recover through this. But if you ever get an opportunity to talk to him, definitely like he can talk your ear off, and that's not a bad thing. Like he's just happy to be alive in general. I'm just stopping by to say hello. Been a while since I caught a live stream. Thank you, I appreciate that. And I'm still working on videos. I'm still working on stuff. Got a lot of family stuff happening. Yeah, awesome. Well, I want to visit Japan. I really would love to visit Japan, and not just Tokyo. A lot of people I know like they talk about you know a lot of people talk about going to Tokyo and stuff like that. Like I want to see some of rural Japan. Like I want to see some of the landscapes and stuff like that. Like just some of like the smaller stuff. You know, yeah, go to Osaka, go to you know, go to old, or was it, I think it's Kyoto, I think is the name of the city that has like all the old fashioned stuff. Like I know like tourists are like not really like foreigners are not welcome in certain parts because of bad foreigners doing things, but I just want to visit it. I just want to see it. I just want to experience it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just something about it. Like, I just love to see it. So, what's my favorite evil version? I'm gonna say animated. Animated, followed closely by because I mean, animated wasn't really evil, right? But he was full of himself. So, but I mean, I did like Kyoto. Okay, cool. Hokkaido. Never. I honestly I would I if I was to go visit Japan, it would be like a tour. like like take me there, let me see the sights, show me some of the stuff, let me experience it, have me travel with with someone who understands Japanese and can translate for me, and like let me experience it and see what and experience Japan for what it is. So yeah, no, folks are asking about like guests and stuff like that, but no, what I mean by that is like, if I had like, and you guys know, like I'm good friends with some other YouTubers, you know, and if they came on and we were just chit chatting about stuff about Transformers, they can't always come on, I invited them, but usually they're always busy on a Sunday night. So, I'll just come on and talk Transformers by myself. It's fine. But, you know, I used to, when I first started this channel and I was doing the retrospectives and stuff, it really started as discussions. That's what they were called. That's why it's called Transformers Discussions. Because, like, where that came from was there was this the idea was I was saying who became Cyclonus, what is the right color from Rumble and Frenzy, what's the right origin for the Constructicons, is what's the deal with Jetfire and Skyfire, what became of Dion, did he become Ultra Magnus, you know those were the things that fans were talking about, and that's why it became Transformers Discussions, and it eventually evolved into, it evolved into retrospectives because I felt like you really like the fact that I cover all of this history on a character and just really go deep diving into it, and that's just what it evolved to. So, and I'm a firm believer that Skywarp is Cyclonus, and I subscribe to Dion becoming Ultra Magnus, and I believe that Bumblebee is better served when he has a voice box not ripped out. I think that I don't care for that. I think that I I'm starting to like keeping things as retro sometimes when it comes down to um you know as far as alt modes are concerned. Like, I like gun mode Megatron, I like cassette player Soundwave. Like, all of those things are things that I'm more of a fan of than not. So where are we? Yeah, and I believe that, yeah, Skyfire is a better. I look at Skyfire and Jetfire as two distinct, different characters, and maybe I need to do a part two of a Jetfire retrospective, like, to cover all the modern Jetfires. But I still think that Skyfire. I like the cartoon character of Skyfire, but to me, that's Skyfire. Jetfire is more of a warrior, and Skyfire is more of an Airbus, who scientist. Yeah, I could see him calming down. I could see him calming down a little bit because he he came across as a character that had no, like, he didn't have any interaction with anybody, and now he gets the opportunity to have a conversation with people, and he just can't shut up. So I think that he'd calm down a little bit. So we'll see. Skyfire rolls off the tongue better for me. So, but I look at them as two distinct, different characters. Like, Skyfire is the scientist, former friend of Starscream, that can act as a transport, whereas, Jetfire, like I said, is the air warrior. So, for sure. And here I am. I'm fitzing with this Bumblebee figure. So, I told you he's my despot. Oh, and I also want to give a shout out to Larkin, who sent me gears. This was a belated birthday present, early Christmas present. Was finally getting gears. This little guy, I love this little guy. Like, his transformation is easy. His robot mode is great. Like, he's awesome. So, how's it going there, Duocon? I know some people are probably tuning in, and I've been on for a little while. How long have I been on? 80, what was it? 106 minutes ago. So we're nearing 2 hours. Yeah, we're nearing an hour and 45 minutes, almost an hour and 50 minutes. And I usually go on for about an hour and a half to 2 hours whenever I do these live streams. So if I do them, let's say every week or every other week, come on a Sunday night, and I'll come on and I'll cover some Transformers news. I'll cover some entertainment news, and I'll just keep you guys going with whatever. And we'll just keep it going that way. Man, I have enjoyed sitting down and talking with you guys, really. I mean that. So, yeah, the Gears needs attention. He does. He definitely does. I've been messing with him. The only thing that I have a problem with this figure is the chest inside is unpainted. So if you get Gears, if anybody gets Gears and you see that the chest is not attached, it's because this piece is in the same packaging as his gun. And so I remember when the figure first got released and people were like, how come he doesn't come with a chest? Why has he got an open chest like that? It's like, is his chest missing? No. They, because they were doing the open window packaging, they decided not to have his chest become the LeBron James head. That's literally what I said. Like there's a whole like thing online of LeBron James Space Jam figures were missing their heads, and because people were just ripping the heads off. So when Hasbro decided to do the open window packaging, right? Everybody was complaining how Transformers are missing parts. Transformers are missing their heads. Some of the Transformers are missing their this, and they're like, well, we discovered that more kids want to buy Transformers when you can see the toy on the inside. And that's true. But you're not putting the plastic on. Well, that's the deal that we're doing now. Okay. Well, now for Age of Primes, you're bringing it back. Now you don't have to worry about this thing. But they're still packaging the chest, including with the one with the toy style head for this Gears figure, is going to be inside the like it's not going to be attached. You'll have to attach it afterward. So, yeah, the toy is fun to transform. Definitely, Gears himself, like it's just, I was so happy to get that figure, man. I didn't get Smallfoot. I didn't get the GoBots 3-pack. I'm okay with Exhaust and Bug Bite being like a little crew along with Crasher, but I didn't need Smallfoot. So I was infused when I got Gears in his chest, where his chest was. Yeah. And that was the thing. They didn't want the heads to be stolen. So so that's what they did. That's right. Okay. Yeah, you get a better look at Gears this way. I just realized I've been spending all this time with the border. These are little things that when you haven't done a live stream in a little while, that you have like different like features out of this. I'm currently using EVMUX for my for my live stream, because a lot of people like use StreamYard, but their prices went up. So, in your opinion, why do you think Powerglide? Probably because they're working on them. I know Sea Spray. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with them. Maybe they're holding off till next year. We'll see. I don't know what the deal is. Why they haven't come out with those figures yet. So, I am getting tired. But you know what? What's great about doing these live streams though is that like I get to like get out my Transformers thoughts to you guys. Like I can just relay my thoughts, even if my idea, like if I have an idea about something and you don't agree, because you sit here and talk about it and say, oh nope, that wasn't right. Like when I talked about the trailer piece for Long Haul, I'm like, didn't Long Haul come with a trailer? And it's like, nope, I was wrong. Happens. It happens. But then again, I haven't seen Master Builder. I haven't watched it recently because we were going to be doing a We were going to be like my kids now have seen all of G1. They've seen the movie, and they've seen the movie numerous times now. Like last Christmas, on Christmas Day, I recorded us watching the 1986 Transformers movie last Christmas, and I put it up on YouTube. I edited it down to 40 minutes. I should have edited it a little bit more. But now they've seen all of season 1 over again, and they've seen some of season 2. We did not get to Master Builders yet, so gonna have to get to that part. I hope they release a Studio Series 86 Hound. Gosh, not being able to get that figure because he's in a 5-pack sucks. Really sucks. I'm willing to bet they're gonna do a regular release of him in toy colors. Watch, he'll have the all black arms. He'll have like the way that they'll do the colors. Watch, they'll end up doing the toy colors for G1 Hound. So, I'm willing to bet they're going to do that. I can see them doing Predaking, but I want the Predacons. I want the G1 Predacons that merge to form Predaking. So we'll see. But if they do a Prime Predaking, that'd be neat. I think his preliminary name was like Dragontron or something. Oh, Keith David. I literally read that as David K. Um, you know, I think he does a pretty decent Grimlock, I think. Right? Because he's done a Grimlock now. I don't know about Beast Wars Megatron. Because, like, Beast Wars Megatron has a certain thing to him about, like, the way that character. I could see them doing it. What'd be cool for him to do? Have him do Skybite. Yeah, have Keith David do Skybite. That'd be neat. Am I excited for the Skybite figure? I'm cautiously optimistic. I hope the figure is good. It transforms easy. And it doesn't feel like it takes a lot of shortcuts. So, yeah, I agree. I think he would be a better. No, here's the thing though. He's probably a better Tigatron. So, hear me out. If you watch Kingdom, um, I'm sitting there when I listen to the voices. I think they were all miscast. A lot of them were miscast. Both Tigatron and Dinobot both sound like they switched the voice actors. Like Dinobot should have been voiced. The voice actor for Dinobot should have voiced Tigatron, and the voice actor for Tigatron should have voiced Dinobot. Both of those voice actors just. It was as if I was hearing Dinobot come out of Tigatron and vice versa in Kingdom. It was just like, how do you do that? Like, it's just who chose to switch those two characters. Same thing with Hound and Ironhide in that show as well, because Ironhide is supposed to have that cowboy accent, and Hound is like, I think when I think of Hound, I think of Earth lover guy, chill, likes to sightsee, and he's like, "Hey, I love it." Like it's just like that's just the way Ken Sampson voiced Hound. That's what I think of him. So when I see the Age of Extinction character, I think that's movie Bulkhead. So, but when you watch the Netflix trilogy, I'm listening to Ironhide and going, "That's Hound." And I listen to Hound, and I'm like, that's Ironhide. And they even switched their characteristics because it was Hound who was going, well, where's Chromia? Well, that's Ironhide who would care about where's Chromia. So Yeah. In a sequel for Transformers 1, do you think Prime would have a voice evolution for Hemsworth to Cullen? Um, yes. Yeah, absolutely. I'd be all about that. A lot of people asked if they should do that in Transformers 1, and I honestly think that I'm glad that they didn't, because even if they brought Cullen back for a future time to voice Optimus again in the same universe as Transformers 1, it should come years later, because then he's in the role, you know? Because, I mean, Peter Cullen can still do a G1 Optimus. He still can. But it does sound a little raspier, a little bit older, but he can still do it. And the proof of that was when I saw Peter Cullen and Frank Welker at I saw them both at MegaCon last year, and Peter Cullen literally like talked about how he voiced Optimus in the different series, and he said, "Oh, it's not like G1, back like because he talked about how much he appreciated and he loves and really really loves G1. Peter Cullen loves G1 and loves G1 Optimus, and he has to keep himself in check because he's not allowed to or not supposed to talk about his opinion on the Bayverse Prime that he doesn't appreciate. But he said it's not like in G1 where he's like oh gee whiz, like let's roll out Autobots. Like he actually went into it, and I was like, wow, he can really still give a younger feeling Optimus to this day. And I was just wowed by that. I was also wowed by the fact that he was still able to do Ironhide with no problem. So yeah, I think that Chris Hemsworth doing a younger Optimus, like doing the young Orion Pax that becomes Optimus and then can go into Peter Cullen, yeah, I could see it happening. Same way I can see this Megatron, like his voice are getting raspier over time and sounding like G1 Megatron. So, yeah, think fast, Spike. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. So, my theory is that the G1 cartoon reflector is one bot, one personality that can turn into three bots. He can literally reflect himself into three robots, but he's one personality. So he can actually transform, and that is his power. The toy reflector is the individual robots Spyglass, Spectro, and Viewfinder. They are four. They are four distinct characters. So reflector, there's the reflector that is three bodies, and reflector that is like I would almost say that that's the refractor team. The refractor team is the Spyglass, Spectro, and Viewfinder. So that's my thought on that. They're literally like kind of like Jetfire and Skyfire, same thing. So Peter Cullen genuinely appreciated when I talked to him. Yeah, he is very very appreciative. Him, Greg Berger is that way. I was really like shocked at how Frank Welker was that way too. Michael Bell is like that. Michael Bell is very appreciative of you. Michael Charles Hill, who wrote the episode that created the character of DevCon and wrote The Burden Hardest to Bear, is very appreciative of fans. Yeah, miss the G1 hipster dad prime. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And Peter Cullen loves that version of Optimus. So, like, if he had the opportunity to voice that version of Optimus again, not the Primes Don't Party Prime, But um, you know, believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, Chip, keep on believing, kind of like that Optimus is who, I envision Optimus to be. So, and don't get me wrong, a lot of whenever I complain about a certain Transformer series, the only Transformers thing that I have no love for completely is like the Bay films. And I don't like, if you love it, great, but there are a lot of things in those movies that just feel like, oh. But I enjoyed animated and I enjoyed Prime. But animated and Prime have things about them that I am very vocal about my opinion on them. But I don't hate fans that like it or have issues with people that like it, and I don't, hate the series just because I have my vocal things about it. So yeah. Watch out, Spike. I'm driving for a layoff. It's a layup, Prime. He actually slam dunks the thing. It's just so cool. I've met Peter Cullen once before. That was back in 2005 in New York City. So, and it was at a smaller Transformers convention, but, you know, wish I had more opportunity to speak to the man. Definitely. He was awesome even then. Burden Hardest to Bear is my favorite episode of season 3. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely my favorite episode too. And like I said, like the writer for it, I said this story, I think one of the my last live streams. It's like I met Michael Charles Hill and I shook his hand with Extra Zero, and I was talking with him, and then he knew who I was. I was just I was blown away by that, man. I was just so blown away by that. Do I think kind of? Yeah. I think they basically did that. I think they eliminated the character of Dion and turned him into and just made Megatron and him the same character. Not that the movie is a bad movie for that, but that's effectively what they did. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. And the Hornet story. Yep. When I met Peter Cullen. The week before I met Peter Cullen, I got stung by a hornet. And right here. Literally right here. And so I was on medication from an allergic reaction to that hornet sting. And was not not myself. So I went a little fanboy crazy. But you gotta expect that a little bit, me. So I am surprised that so many of you have stayed on so long. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. I really do. Obviously we have Peter Cullen and Garry Chalk are in our prayers. Check out the Skybound comics. Check out the Transformers 1 is on Blu-ray now. You know, I hope you guys get all what you want for Christmas. I really do. I hope everybody has a safe week this week. I am going to be releasing my Star Convoy, Star Optimus Prime video. Hopefully by the end of the week. It will still have the Merry Christmas message, but like I said, I can't undo that. And I've appreciated talking to so many of you guys again, on a live stream. So I'm going to end the broadcast here. So as always, until next time,